Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have a 6-week update. I think this is our 4th term that we are finishing up in my 8th year of homeschooling. Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sade. I'm a homeschool mom to 5 children. The ages are 11, 8, 5. I have a birthday coming up, so that's why I'm like going through the ages like, wait, how old are they? 5, and then my twins are 3 years old. And today we're just gonna go over where everyone is. I definitely have I definitely bought some new curriculum, and so I wanted to kind of go over that again. And then Apologia also sent me over some things that we can talk about, but I'm gonna make additional videos about those. So first things first, new things that are coming into the kids rotation is my son actually finished grade 1 of Apologia's math exploring creation. And so this is actually our 2nd time that we're going to be going through this. So this is exciting. My daughter, who is in the 5th grade, she did this. This is our introduction into Apologia's math. And so I am thankful that we get to do it with my son for the 2nd time around. I added to, we did, for my son, still on that same curve, when he finished level 1, we did addition facts at stick. And so I thought it would be good for just for recall. I kind of had like a glimpse into the future, and when he's in calculus, pre-calculus, algebra 1, algebra 2, pre-algebra, I don't want to be spending time waiting for him to answer simple addition and subtraction. Now, yes, is he just now in elementary school? Absolutely. Is he going to be exposed to this even more? Absolutely. But I just want him to be a little bit more quicker. And so I just got this off of Amazon. And so it's time test, there's subtraction and addition, and I'm gonna see what he can get done in 1 minute, and then that's my goal. Give him 1 minute to do it, see how far he gets, and then he can finish the rest of them. So his goal each day is to get more done than what he did before, but we're not gonna not move on to the next page. I hope that makes sense. My daughter actually finished this one, and I noticed that I did not buy the next level up for my other 4 children. So I went ahead and bought 4 of these. Same thing with my daughter. She's doing great with multiplication. There's no issues, and especially with the way Apologia teaches it. I just want her to be quicker with it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I don't want there to be like hesitation. So I did get her this, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna see how far she gets with 1 minute. We're gonna put that number up top, and then she will finish the page if she does not finish in 1 minute. But we are not going to stop doing these. Do you guys remember doing these? I remember I had to do these in the 4th grade, but I just think it's important, especially because she is great with, let me see, skip counting, right? And so if I say 9 times 1 or 9 times 3 or whatever, like, she knows her 9s, but she'll just go like 9, 18, 27. But does she know what 9 times 1 is? Does she know what 9 times 2? Like, just quick, instead of going through the list of skip counting. I'm just looking into the future. And if you guys don't know, I was a high school math teacher. I majored in mathematics for my Bachelor's of Science, and then my master's, excuse me, is in, what is my master's in? Oh, master's is in guidance counseling. And I'm also working on a 2nd master's, which is my master's of divinity. But yes, anyway, I'm just looking into the future of how I want her to be be quicker with recalling these facts. And I want her to know the fact families, because when it comes to factoring, though, that comes into play. Like, do you know these? So if you don't know these, you're gonna struggle a little bit when it comes to upper level math. So I don't think she's gonna start this quite yet because she still has the time one, which is not a time test. But I think she's on like day 70, so she has 30 more days in that, and then she's gonna move on to this as a like warm up to her math. And then, yeah, so let's just go over all of the curriculum that everyone is going over. First things first, my fifth grader is going through this for vocabulary. She is actually on unit 3. She's on she's on unit 4. And we just do these every day. So this day, I don't really sit with her. She will listen to them read the story on their online resource. And then they will read these definitions to her, go through them. And they also have, with the definitions, there are pictures. So I feel like we just now are realizing that if she scrolls down a little bit, there are pictures with it. And it's been a lot more helpful. And then the next day, this is when I sit with her. We do like matching meaning the sentence, antonyms and synonyms. Completing the sentences, word associations, word study, and then shades of meaning. And each unit has that. So we spend about a week and a half on these. I'm looking forward to the day where I don't have to like sit with her to do it. I think this is going to be something that I kind of move over to her pile of things that she should maybe be doing on her own. But we'll wait till 6th grade for that. Okay, next thing up. My daughter, we have not started this, but she just finished the blue book that I was holding up that I bought for my other kids. But we will be starting this. This is the last book in the series. There's a level K, A, B, C, and she's on C. This is what you would consider typically 3rd grade level, but to be honest, she's at this age, she's reading better than I was at this age. But I have a very traumatic story about how I learned to read. So this is wherever she is where she is, and this is just going great. Actually, it's not going great. We haven't started it yet. There are some things that are different than the other 3 books. So I'll be making a video about the differences and what my first thoughts are when I opened it up. So we have been doing Harcourt language arts, and something that has been a hindrance not a hindrance, but like a roadblock is getting her to write. Now in Harcourt, it does give, let me show you. It gives little things that you could do each day for writing. I think what happened is that me, the parent, I was not prepared enough to have things like this ready for her. So I went ahead and based off of where she is in her writing, like she's in the 5th grade, we are using Harcourt 5th grade, but I need her to be more efficient with writing a well-written paragraph. And so I just got this as a way to help her get to writing. Like it's almost like pulling teeth a little bit. So this has been super helpful. Should I go get hers? I'll just say this. We are on week 4 and there's no tears or anything, which has helped us when we go to Harcourt with the writing, because she has some frame of reference of like, okay, I can do this. I hope that makes sense. There's nothing wrong with Harcourt. It is me as the prepper for Harcourt, but this has been helpful because it gives us everything we need. So like here's week 1. So like week 1, day 1, it's just talking about the topic. Then it kind of walks you through pictures, and then they will end up doing the same thing that we've walked through throughout the week, and then they will write their own paragraph. So they have the things that are needed to write the paragraph, and then they'll take that information, take that information and write their own paragraph on the last day, which has been super helpful because it's not feeling like we're doing so much work in in one day or in one sitting. So like here, writing your topic sentence. She knows about writing her topic sentence, but my issue was just getting her to write sentences. So this was the day that I was looking forward to. She took this information. So they did one, or we did one together, I think. We did one together from the information that was given, and then I wrote the paragraph from that. Then the next day, she did her own, and then she wrote the paragraph. So it's teaching me also how to write. Teaching me to teach her how to write in a better way. We do this together. Then we have the daily paragraph. Editing, we don't do this together, but I do check it every day, and we review anything that she needs to go over. She has her own student companion, and then also she has her own student companion in this as well. So this is more independent work for her. My son, he actually just finished this up. And did I show? Yeah, I showed you guys the two. So he is done with this. My daughter's done with this. So I'm actually going to put this away because my son is still on the red book. So she finished this. Oh, another thing. My daughter finished. So she finished level 3. And we are on this. But we are, I guess I didn't tell you guys, but we are like on chapter 3, which is moving into, they started off with just regular multiplication, which moved quickly for us, and then it goes to double digit multiplication, which I'm assuming is also going to go quickly. She has a goal of finishing this year, so we actually do 2 lessons a day in this. My son, my 2nd grader, is working on this. He is on lesson 7. So did he just have an assessment? He just had an assessment. So we have not started lesson 7 yet, but it's blending to consonant vowels. So S blends. And something that I found that was helpful when we moved to L blends, which is chapter 6, is one of the lessons, I think it's like day 2, where you focus on, let me see if I can find it, word building. Okay, so we focus on word building. This is the lesson part of the lesson that we do. I actually took this lesson and I did it every day with him. Not this lesson, that part of the lesson, and did it every day with him because he was struggling a little bit. And all we're doing is, so they give you these letters to cut out, which I use bananagrams. And I tell him to spell the word flip. We work on flip. Flip. And he puts the letter tiles down, and then he makes the word flip. Then I tell him to replace the F with an S, or I'll say replace the F with a S, depending on if he is recognizing that letter name. But I really, really try to do replace the F with the S because he needs to also learn his letter names. He knows the letter sounds, not the letter names, not all the letter names. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so then I'll say, what's the word? And he'll say, slip. Then I'll say, replace the I with an A. And then, what's the word? Okay, then we'll do a couple of those words. We'll do about 10 words that way. Then the next time, I'll just say, build flip. He works on building flip. And then I'll say, okay, build slip. And if he's hesitant, I'll ask what letter is changing, what letter sounds the same, what letters sound the same, which letter sounds have changed, and then that typically gets him into the right movement. Now, because he was struggling with that L blend of bl, cl, sl, fl. Okay, babe. Okay. that's why I went ahead and did that activity as opposed to just one day. So that this activity is on day 2. I actually did it on day 2, day 3, and day 4. And by the 5th day, when he has his assessment, okay, that's fine. He was fine. So my idea. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Get away from that window. It's broke.
Yeah, so how can I get a new window?
Yeah, go. So with the S-blends, I introduced this to him the first day. I read the first 2 words, and then he'll start to figure, sounds out the rest of the words. And then the next day, she's reading this every day except the last day. I just found it too much for us to read, do an assessment, and do this on the 5th day. So my plan for when we do the S-blends is to do the same thing. Day 2, day 3, day 4, work on this activity. Also, these building fluency sentences, I'm probably going to start printing these out so that he becomes a little bit more fluent with reading the sentences. But yeah, other than that, it's been going good. I did use this for my current 5th grader, and as you can see, it is a well-loved book, and I plan on using it for my other 3 kids that are coming after him. Okay, my kindergartner is working through this. He is on he's on lesson 12. He just had an assessment. Yeah, and he's doing good. So he is basically, there's 30 lessons in all. So I tell him all the time, you're 1/3 of the way done. You got 2/3 left. And I like to show them the progress that they've made. So he's done this and he has this left to do. We got to tell you guys that we switched our history curriculum. So instead of Pandia Press, we switched to strictly Story of the World. Pandia Press was just giving us extra like the activities to do and other books to read. And I found that the best curriculum is actually the curriculum you're going to use. So Story of the World was still like the spine. So I tailored it down. We actually listened to this on the way to our play co-op on Mondays. And then if we are in the car, like I'm going to the doctor's office or something, but it is strictly like a Monday pretty much thing, but we're on chapter 32. I used to think people were not telling the truth when they were saying that this was a religious curriculum, but I do feel like it does kind of lean in the favor of Christians. So this is coming from a Christian who I use all types of curriculum. I use secular and religious. And this does not bother me. I am a Christian. But if you're someone who wants to stay away from religious curriculum, this I feel like does lean in the favor of Christians. So just keep that in mind. I do a good job of having these conversations with my kids about the lens that history is being presented in and what's appropriate, what's not, what's right, what's wrong. And then I had ChatGPT create a list of picture books for me from a BIPOC perspective. And so that was helpful because we also read those on the side. I have not been like totally following this timeline with the picture books, but because we're on chapter 32, I think that's what I said, we're going to finish this soon. So I'm just going to circle back to the ones that we missed and still have those conversations about viewpoints of history and, just in a way that my kids can handle it. So with that being said, because we kind of let go of everything from Pandia Press and kept this book, I did pick this up from Amazon, and just so that we can have these are the tests. I don't actually test my kids, but these are questions that I'm asking them as we listen, like once we're done listening. And my goal was to have everyone be able to write, my kindergartner and second grader are working on writing sentences, and my 5th grader is working on writing paragraphs. So I use this part of the test to help me, figure out what to have them write. And then these are just questions that I ask them after we're done listening to make sure that they understand the information. Again, if you guys don't know, we were using Saxon Math Level K. It's not the curriculum. It is me. I'm bored. So I did pick this up without the teacher's guide. And so every day we work on a sheet, and then we talk about which one's more, which one's less. We work on counting up, counting down, just different things that I know he is going to need to be able to do. I mean, this is great because this is stuff that we were doing that we would have done in Saxon Math Level K. Okay, so yeah, he's just been working through that. I have not picked this up yet. I think it's because of time, but I want to pick this back up because what I was saying with the other red book is about fluency. Yeah, this is going to help him with fluency and a little bit of vocabulary. And it's going to help with writing, but I'll show you why we haven't picked it up in a couple seconds. But yeah, we haven't even started yet. So I do want to get back to this. I think it's because also I would prefer it to be something he does independent, and he's not ready for that yet. And I'm talking about my 2nd grader. We have been doing these, and I think that's why we haven't picked up the fluency booster practice book, because he's on the last story in this. And if you don't know, there are 5 books in this series. So he is able to read the first 5 on his own. And partly because he memorized it, but we've been working through these words and it's been helpful. We're going to start the other books, the 2nd book in 2 weeks. And then we picked this up. This has someone else's name on it because I bought this used off of Amazon. The first page was written in, and everything else is was clear. So he's on page 37 of this writing handbook. It's helpful. It goes through like different languages, the writing process, sentences, nouns, grammar uses, and mechanics. And then it has some handwriting in the back, writing frames. And yeah, this has been super helpful. Got this used off of Amazon. We are actually done Zoology 1. We love this curriculum. I'll probably give a video of, how we finished it and all that. But the thing that was helpful is we listened to it on Mondays on the way to our play co-op, and then we would come home and do the worksheet, the worksheets. What is that called? The student journals, and the science experiments. I'm not sure if I'm going to go ahead and start botany. We do 6 weeks of science, 6 weeks of history, and then we toggle in between each term. I think I just want to finish this history, and then I'll decide if I want to just go ahead and move to botany. My whole point of waiting for botany was because we're going to need to plant things. And so I figured if we waited until late March to start, some of the things that we would be planting would be bearing fruit by the end of the curriculum. So I don't know why I said 5. This is actually 4. So we have been working through this with reading, and I'll show you the other stuff that goes with it. So this is her book that has all the stories, all the vocabulary. This is probably one of my favorite curriculums. Then we have the language handbook. He can talk. He lives here. And it's kind of the same thing as what my son does, but it's on a 4th grade level. Yeah. And these reviews and things are just great. I'll show you guys what I look at in order to know when to do those. She has a spelling practice book to go with each story. Again, used off of Amazon. She has a practice workbook. Most of the time, this stuff like the writing handbook or questions to there's spelling in here as well, in cursive. And then this is my teacher book. And so this is helpful because it tells me things that she can read from the library. If I find that these are too what we call Eurocentric, I will, ask ChatGTP to find me one that is, equal, but also projects a BIPOC perspective. But these look fun. We don't have the book level learner, so I do lean more on those library. But it's so much what? Yeah. But you need to put it on the paper. Yeah.
But the next is just to help take the water off. The paper doesn't like what?
In this particular theme, it kind of gives you a rundown of everything the child will be doing. So there's 5 books in this theme. But in her book, all the books are in there. And then when you open this up, so the baker's neighbor, it tells you what to do every day. And then also from each of these, there's a page that goes with each of those. But because I've been using it for so long, I have a better understanding of like what each one means. We don't do any of the phonics. If there's anything on here, this one focuses on comprehension. So we don't even we don't pull out any of the phonics stuff because we have our own phonics curriculum. And then vocabulary is hit or miss. Most of the time we just talk about anything that's dealing with vocabulary because she has another vocabulary curriculum. So you look at what you're doing here, and then at the end of the story, so like if we have language arts, that's the focus that we really do. So the writing, the grammar, and the spelling, I'll go to teacher page 173G. So this is the writing that I was talking about. So they give you one that's already written, and then they give you a lesson on ordering details, and then you do your own. I need to interject and do one. This is the thing. We don't have these, so it makes it harder for me to do that. That's why we have the other writing curriculum. I don't prep it. I should be prepping it, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start prepping this so we have a better understanding, and we're going to follow the way that they teach it. So that's the 5-day lesson plan for writing. 5-day lesson plan for grammar. And spelling. We don't do word study because she has that in her phonics, and she also has that in her vocabulary. Speaking and listening is a part of that, so we look at this sometimes too. So in the beginning, there's an phonics and decoding. We don't do that. It's before the story, and then cause and effect. We talk about that because it relates to the story. Building background and vocabulary.
No.
Oh, this is before the story. Then you have vocabulary power. And then with each story, with each page. So my daughter has this much left of the time telling just for review. So she has 30 more lessons to do. My 5th grader is the only one who's been working through this art. My 2nd grader is just not interested. He's more interested into drawing. So we do a lot of Art for Kids Hub, which is fine with me. And then we have not picked this up whatsoever. But it does talk about cocaine, crack, marijuana, inhalants, and tobacco, alcohol. And so I do want to pick this up because I think it's important for her to I don't remember what chapter it was, but I do think it's important for her to learn about drugs and their uses. But I need to find like a DARE type curriculum. So if you know anything that's available, because there are other drugs, especially with like fentanyl and all that, and I want her to get to learn more about the dangers of using drugs. And then also, me and my 5th grader are reading this. I found this in my church's library. We have like a community library. So I got this from our regular library, and then I saw this at my church's library. So she has this one, and then I have this one, and we've been reading it together, and it's been very fruitful, and things that we can talk about and things of that nature. So that is all I have for you today. I know it was a lot. I typically don't even hold up curriculum, and then I don't even because this is a homeschool and life update, I'm going to be starting therapy. My pastor, she asked me, how am I? And I don't know, I guess it's because I'm 40. Usually I just say fine. And I was like, I'm fine in a sense that like there's no fires or anything to put out. But also, I don't know how I am. I wake up every day and I care for other people. And to be honest, I don't know if I'm fine or not. I don't presume there are no fires. Like everything is going fine, but also I don't have time to think about how I'm feeling about anything. And so I just feel like this is like a new like coming of myself, and this is going to be good. So I'm going to start therapy soon, and I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, the things that God has been working with me on is working on my online school. I do have a math academy that I teach other children with. So if you're interested, I don't really advertise it on here, but if you're interested, you can shoot me a message on Amazon or email, and I'll get you set up. But like just being diligent with that, and also finishing up my schoolwork. I'm in Old Testament 2 right now. I'm also in preaching, and I'm still in supervised ministry, and then I'm taking Presbyterian polity. So that is how things are going on my end. So if you made it this far, put a book in the comments. But yeah, let me know how your school year is going. How's consistency going with you? How's being diligent going with you? If you have any questions about anything, please let me know. I will try my best to answer them in the comments. And yeah, God loves you. Don't forget to drink your water and repent. Bye.